Meeting will come to order. Let's begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen.
Amen.
Will the clerk please call the roll? Lost my pen right.
Maria Mills Bennett.
Benet.
Bo Bofamy.
I'm here.
Thomas Jordan.
Here.
John Junko.
Here.
Newton White.
Here.
Lance Green.
Here.
Stan Schmidt.
Here. Okay, the next item up for bids is the election of officers for the next year. Floor is open for nominations. We have to elect, what, chairman and vice chairman? You want to start with the chairman
We're
first?
selecting a vice chairman for next year, yeah? It's a vice
We
chairman for
will.
next year.
But so we're gonna start with the chairman.
I nominate Lance Green.
Second, anybody? We don't need a second?
I'll second it if you guys want.
Second. Oh, I'm worried now.
No,
Am I taking over the chair now? I'm taking over the chair
hang on.
now. So
Hang on,
you're
hang
only
on.
voting for a vice, for a,
Don't we do a chair and a vice?
Yeah,
and
we'll
the
do a
vice
vice
chair?
chair
and a
for-
vice chair,
Gets
and
bumped up.
typically the chair takes over at the meeting.
right,
So we're
Yep.
gonna do a chair.
okay.
All right, so any further nominations? We have a motion to elect Mr. Green by acclamation.
Aye.
Aye. So be it.
I guess we have a motion apparently.
Okay.
Do you need a roll call now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
we need a roll call on
Roll
that,
call.
please.
You have your motion and your second.
Yes, we've
Yes.
had a motion and a second.
All right. Then
And
do
roll
your
call, please.
I don't think that's how it goes.
Bo Bofamy.
Yes.
Thomas Jordan.
Yes.
John Junko.
Yes.
Newton White.
Yes.
Lance Green.
I guess.
Stan
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
You're
That was easy.
yourself? You should have said no.
All right, next thing up is the nominations for vice chairman.
Yeah, we already switched
You gotta
chairs.
switch.
Oh, you want to switch, right?
He's got it
Okay,
right.
you're-
He's
you
got
got
it right.
I got some. Okay, cool. You got paper on this?
We
You
do
got-
this every year. Come on, gang.
I know. I'm gonna go back out here.
Get yourself out of the chair.
Get the
Yours is
road.
warm down there.
Get the
Yours is warm
road
down there. Go get your recipe going on.
Hey, well, we fine for that.
Hey, you were on that side last year.
Look, we're even having the changing of the nameplate.
All right, with that being said, we will take nominations for next year's chairman, right?
Vice chair.
Vice chair.
We're just
Or
doing-
vice
yeah,
chair
vice
now.
chair.
All right.
Vice chair now.
Can I get a nomination for the floor?
I'd like to nominate Maria Benet.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Well, oh.
What?
Roll call.
Do
I'd like to nominate Bo Bofamy.
you have a second?
Yeah, I second that.
Okay, so then we need to draw straws, or what do you want to do? So we got two nominations on the floor. Any other nominations?
I'll make it easy and decline.
All right, so he's going to decline, so you're out, Stan, sorry.
Come on, man, we're
So
trying to get you in here.
It's
been a
Maria
while.
Benet is the nomination.
Yeah, so she'll call roll.
Call the roll, please.
Bo Bofamy.
Yes.
Thomas Jordan.
Yes.
John Junko.
Yes.
Newton White.
Yes.
Lance Green.
Yep. Yep.
Stan Schmidt.
I suppose. That counts as a yes.
All right, let's
We're
move
having
on.
way too much fun.
Consideration of the minutes from December 15th.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of December 15th.
Second?
I got a second over here. Comments, concerns? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
No nays? All right, good. All right, let's move along. Application rezoning of 662 Herbert Street, case number 22-001. Wow, we really got these shortened down, didn't we? Like 12 zeros?
Yeah, good.
Nice. They must have known I was coming to the chair. A request by the applicant to rezone 2.1 acres located at 662 Herbert Street into two-family residential is R2D to R10SF.
Making a motion to approve rezoning case number 22-0001.
Second.
Gwen Perney Planning. Again, the request is from the applicant to rezone 2.1 acres from R2D, which is the city's current duplex zoning, to single-family residential R10SF. The property is located on the south side of Herbert Street. If the rezoning is approved, the applicant intends to subdivide the property into 2 single-family lots. Overall, the proposed rezoning is consistent with the adjacent properties to the west as single-family. Again, the intent would be to subdivide. There's an existing single-family house on the property there now, and the applicant is looking to create basically a carved-out lot around that existing house, and then the remainder lot would be potentially for a new single-family house. Staff has reviewed the criteria, and the rezoning is in accordance with the comprehensive plan, and staff recommends approval.
Okay, any questions of staff? Stan?
No, sir.
Newton?
No.
Johnny?
No.
Tom?
Just a quick question on the, what's up to the east? Is that an easement there? Is that skinny little?
To the east is right-of-way.
Okay.
City-owned right-of-way.
Gotcha, alrighty. And what about the access? Is this a single access onto Herbert then after it's done, or is there going to be a separate access, or we don't know?
It'll have to be evaluated at the time that they turn in building permit.
Okay.
There's like a circular drive there now, so there's
Yeah.
currently access to the property.
Okay, thanks.
Bob?
We're good.
Okay. We'll hear from the applicant.
Thank you, guys.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Good. State your name for the record.
Elliot Meadows. Hey guys, how's everybody doing?
Good.
662 Herbert Street, Port Orange.
Questions for the applicant? Stan?
Nothing here.
Newton?
You gonna keep the existing house when you're done with the new one?
Yeah, my mom lives there, and I'm gonna build a nice 4-bedroom, 2-bath next door for us, so we can all be on like a little compound. And I'm gonna move 2 of the sheds that are on the right on the left-hand side too. So, but it'll look nice.
Johnny?
Just pure curiosity, since you've already thought this through, are you gonna have like a common shared easement for both lots?
No,
to get
so
access?
if we could pull the diagram up on the side where the, oh boy, I gotta put my glasses on to see that. On the side where the, on the east side where the right-of-way is, that's gonna be, it's hard to really tell with this, guys, but in the northeast corner, there's a small house. It's about 1,200 square feet. It's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath. My mom lives there. And it's literally tucked in that far northeast corner there. So there's about maybe, 40 or 50 feet between her and the right-of-way, and then probably 30 or 40 foot off the road. In that little small section there, we're gonna make her driveway where she pulls in with her and her husband with their 2 little cars. And then on the west side, where the current circle drive is gonna be the access for the new home.
Okay, so they're gonna have separate access
Correct.
points. Okay.
Correct. And the thought on that was to keep the little tiny house with a big enough piece of property to make it match code, but small enough to where the taxes would be super low for my parents as they got older.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
No problem.
Yep.
No, I'm good, thanks.
Bob?
Thanks, Elliot.
Yep.
Nothing. No question.
So when you're done with this, this is gonna be split into 2 lots though, yes?
100%.
And so technically, the back lot could be sold at some point in time. So is there an easement for the back lot?
Well, this lot is almost 210 feet wide.
Okay.
So each lot will then be about 105 foot wide. The most of the lots in that area are only 70 foot wide. So our lots are much wider. So we'll each have a small driveway, just like a typical lot there would have.
So you're technically just carving out her house then? The existing
So
house.
we're
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
if you kind of look on that diagram there, if you can just imagine approximately 35 foot east of the western point, so 35 foot into that new lot is going to be where the driveway comes. There's about 3 or 4 historic oak trees that line that. So we're gonna leave those and have the driveway carved through that, and then have the house right there, approximately, I don't know, 65 foot off the road, somewhere in there. And then, so the goal is the very bottom of this triangle, what we're gonna have to do, because this is a little bit of a low area we discovered a few months back. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take,
About 4.
yeah, we're gonna make this very back triangular area, that's gonna be like a dry retention pond.
Okay.
And we're gonna use that to compensate and then bring some of this other fill up. So from the road back, 100 feet, we'll fill that up quite a bit, and then we'll use all this for compensated storage for the wetland, or not for the wetland, but for the for the water, and might make it where we get a little pond back there, so the house that's back there has a view of the pond. That's
Okay.
kind of what we're thinking. Because
Alright.
that land goes pretty far back there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing how big that lot is. So our house, if you look where it says subject property on the blue diagram.
We can't see your finger there.
Sorry there. I thought I had one of those things, Bo, where it was gonna like work like a weatherman.
Yeah.
But where the black arrow is gonna be approximately the back of the new residence.
Mhm.
So the rest of that triangle is all gonna be dry retention. And we'll have the house probably about 24 inches above Herbert Street, above the crown of the road.
Okay. Any other questions for Elliot? Guys? Okay. Can you come back up? All right, thank you, sir.
Yep, thank you guys.
All right, so we got any other questions of staff? So will the original house that's staying meet the setbacks?
It's currently non-conforming, so the rezoning, again, this is just a rezoning of the property. It's not gonna affect that house with setbacks and everything. When they go, like, if the rezoning gets approved and they have to go through the minor subdivision process to divide that lot, the lot's gonna have to meet the minimum dimensional requirements for the R10 zoning district.
Right.
And that's the criteria.
Right, okay, all right. Any other questions of staff?
I got a quick one. What is the exact reason of rezoning? Just,
It's currently duplex zoning, and they're requesting single-family residential zoning. Okay.
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 All right, any other questions of staff? All right, anybody from the public here to speak to this? All right, with that being none, I have a motion and a second on the floor. Would you call the roll, please?
Bobo Faney.
yes.
Thomas Jordan.
Yes.
John Junko.
Yes.
Newton White.
Yes.
Lance Green.
Yes.
Stan Schmidt.
Yes.
Okay.
That was a good second after all.
All right, moving right along.
All right, guys, appreciate y'all.
Case number 22-500000003.
Why do we have all
Madeline
these-
Commons subdivision plat and plans.
Why do we have all these zeros? This time?
Yeah, that's
That's the old
Because
system.
some
It's been
are
going on a
still in
minute.
Avaline and some are in SmartGov.
The old system.
So the old system will eventually be phased out. Gwen Perney planning.
No, you need a motion.
Need a
sir.
motion? Can I get a motion to open the case, please?
Make a motion to approve case number 22-500000003.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Thank you, Gwen. Go ahead.
Thank you. All right, so this request is for the subdivision plat and plans for Madeline Commons. The subject property is approximately 34.6 acres, and they're proposing to subdivide it into 149 single-family lots. The staff reviewed the plans for consistency with the Land Development Code and the Master Development Agreement for Madeline Commons. And some of the subdivision improvements that they're proposing are the 149 lots. And this layout is essentially the same as what was on the concept plan for the MDA that went through back in 2021, I think it was. So what they're going to be doing is constructing 2 new streets, Common Way and Blewett Drive. They'll be resurfacing 5th Street and installing the roundabout at the curve for McDonald and Madeline. And then also part of the improvements include a turn lane for the school. There's going to be a mixture of 50-foot wide lots, which are here along 5th Street, and then 40-foot wide lots internal to the site. There is going to be stormwater drainage infrastructure, including dry ponds and swales, the water, sewer, and irrigation infrastructure, the 20-foot wide right-of-way landscape buffer along Charles Street and McDonald Road, and 10-foot perimeter buffer along the north, and then along the southern portion where it touches the school and along the western side here. 80% of the specimens trees will be preserved on site according to Land Development Code, including all 3 historic live oaks, and overall the 16% tree preservation, which is 15% is required by code. They also have open space amenities throughout the subdivision. The school requested a 6-foot privacy fence along their property line, so they're proposing that. And then compliance with all the other city, county, state, and federal regulations. Concurrency was reviewed with the subdivision for recreation open space, school capacity, water and sewer, stormwater drainage, and transportation. And the proposed subdivision met all those requirements, and staff is recommending approval of the plat and plans. A plat and plans approval is a ministerial approval, and if the subdivision meets all the technical requirements, then staff recommends approval.
All right. Any questions of Stan, of Gwen, Bo?
Is that gated?
It will not be a gated community. The streets will be public and open.
That looks like it's a gate on Charles Street. I said it looks like a gate on Charles Street.
I think that is part of the street improvements with where the turn lane is shown to go into the school, and then possibly the stop bar maybe.
That's a lot.
Tom?
I'm good, thank you.
Johnny?
No, I think I was more concerned about the vegetation buffers around the school and the existing neighborhoods, and they're clearly in there. And the fence is great for the school too, to protect the kids. So, yeah, no, everything looks good.
Nope.
Nothing yet.
Stan?
No questions.
The applicant's here.
Yes, the applicant is here.
I'd like to hear from him.
Good afternoon. Cody Bogart, engineer of record, here on behalf of the property owner and developer.
What firm are you with?
Newkirk Engineering.
Okay.
I'd be happy to answer any questions. Gwen did a good job summarizing. We went through a long, extensive process of review with the city, St. John's, and FDEP as needed. We have all permits in hand, besides a couple of construction permits we get, which is where we're at in timing right now. So that's all. Everything's to par on that. We did a great job communicating with staff. It is very highly sought after PUD process we went through, and I do believe that we did come to a very good design and product here at the end. So I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have.
Bo? Tom?
From what I read, you've committed to minimizing, limiting the construction during the school year, is that right?
The right turn lane at the bottom on Charles Street can only be constructed during the off-school time, so during summer, which is what's coming up here.
Okay, but not the roundabout?
No, the roundabout can be constructed during school time.
Okay. That's it.
Johnny?
Curious on this, since it's adjacent to South Daytona, was there any request by the city that they had asked for? Everything went well with them?
Nothing specifically from South Daytona. There were some minor fence encroachments that have been since cleared up. So everything on the north property boundary has been solved. If there was anything to solve, very minor, and proper noticing, and we'll treat them as Port Orange citizens when anything's happening close to their properties.
Are you going to consider doing this? I understand you're going to limit some construction during times of the year. Are you going to turn this into a two-phase project?
As far as we know and how we have it approved, it's all one phase.
Okay.
Besides the turn lane would
All
be
right,
the
thank
only
you.
thing.
Newton? I'm good. Stan?
We're good here.
I got nothing for you, but thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Okay, is anybody from the public here to speak to this? Come on up. Just state me your name and the address for the record, please.
Pamela Covert, 1022 Charles Street, which by the map, our home is directly across from where the retention pond is going to go. My question is, with the new lane that they're going to put in, is it going to be on the other side of the sidewalk, or is it going to be an existing part of the current street? We just watched AT&T put in a whole dig lines and put in all this new piping and stuff for television and everything. So I was just wondering what's going to happen. They're going to dig it all up again, and how is the access going to be for the residents when they're doing Charles Street?
Okay.
Okay. That's what-
Again, you know, your comments will be noted, and obviously, if things go along or whatever, maybe those questions can be answered for you down the road, okay?
Okay, all right.
All right.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
All right, I'll bring it back up to the panel. Comments? Anybody else from the public? Bo? Tom?
No, thank you.
Nope.
Nope. No.
Nope.
So I do have comments on this, and this is just, I guess, this is just me, and I've been kind of holding out. Honestly, I look at the traffic in this situation, and I'm like, man, here we are. We're just piling on the roads. We're piling onto this road. This is already a bad road. It's already a bad traffic area, and we are building really small lots. We have 40-foot lots and 50-foot lots. So we're putting a lot of cars on a lot of streets in a really busy area. I would have liked to have seen this thing had bigger lots where the city provides less service. We have less garbage truck, less water meters, etc., and have higher property values versus having smaller homes with lower property values and providing more service, but and at a lower tax base. So with that in mind, you know, I mean, that's my comments to this. I don't like the size of lots. I think they're too small. But again, I think overall the project looks nice. I'd like to see the lots to be bigger. So that's my comments on the issue. But any other discussion? That being said, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Would you call the roll?
Bobo Femi,
Yes.
Thomas Jordan.
Yes.
John Junko,
Yes.
Newton White,
Yes.
Lance Green,
No.
Stan Schmidt,
Yes.
All right. Moving right along. Other business. Commissioner comments. Stan, I'll start with you.
Nothing here?
Newton?
After my absence, I'm amazingly quiet tonight. Nothing.
Okay. Who's taking the comments tonight? Is it just you, Danny? All right. Oh, I will. Johnny?
Well, I think we should note that I think Stan should make pumpkin bread for us every month.
Seasonal bread, we need to call it.
Yes.
Seasonal. Easter's
That's all I
coming.
have to say.
We gotta find some,
It's race season, now we got that.
Racing
bread.
bread.
Bourbon, bourbon cake?
There you
You got comments?
No, I don't.
Bo?
Yeah, I agree with John.
Can you come, I wanna ask a couple questions, just a couple of things that I've been stewing on here and thinking about. First question, how long are we giving for businesses and such to recoup from the hurricane damage?
With regards
And,
to...
okay, so I'll give you a specific, is there's a bank that's right across the street from Port Orange Elementary, that's had the sign blown over, and it's laying there and rotting. How long is that business, how long is that gonna stay there?
Yeah, I don't have a specific date
Okay.
to answer your question, but I know that there are people who are just now receiving some of their financial assistance and things from the hurricane, so there have been extensions to even the permit fee waivers and things like that, so...
We are?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know, because people are still just now receiving some of their assistance that they need, so,
Okay.
but we can get you an answer and get you...
Just curious, I
back
mean,
that.
it's just laying there, it's, you know, it's our,
Yeah, and code
Dunlawton's the face of Port Orange, if
code
you will.
enforcement's aware of the signs that are down.
What is the status of Millie's under the bridge?
We are awaiting the signature of the site improvement agreement in order to be able to issue a development order. There is an internal issue between the property owner and the developer.
You're talking about their signature, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the main thing that's required before we can issue a development order. That's been on hold, waiting for that since probably early summer last year.
Do their variances run out?
Variances are 2 years, so
They
they've
are?
got time.
So
Yeah.
anything that we've allowed for them to have special, they're still within their window and potentially to get started? Because I know the same thing happened with
Well, they can't
fish
get
and-
started until they get a development
Yeah.
order and go through that. Yeah, so there's nothing on our end that is holding us up. It's the ball's been in their court for a while.
That's what I've heard, and it's kind of frustrating to me because we went to great lengths to help them out and gave them a lot of exceptions, you know what I mean? And now
Yeah.
they're not producing. Okay. The next question I have is, can we as a city implement codes to have security cameras on businesses? And I'll tell you why. I guess I've noticed more and more how important security cameras are around our city. We've just now bought 9 tag readers or whatever. We bought 3 tag readers in our city. And I just noticed that crimes are solved easier when we have security cameras throughout your city. Do we have any codes when it comes to having commercial businesses?
We don't have a requirement for that in our code, and whether we can have a requirement for that, I would defer to the city attorney's office with regards to
I'd
Florida
be interested to
statutes.
know moving forward if we could implement saying that new commercial businesses have, active security cameras, because it's obviously a huge benefit when it's coming to solving the crimes. I mean, we've had some crimes in some commercial apartment complexes that are unsolved, and we don't have any cameras anywhere. And I know we're still building a lot of apartments, and I think security cameras moving forward are going to be critical to the city. But I'm just interested in knowing if that was something that could be looked into.
That's something legal would have to look into with regards to
Okay.
legal ramifications
All
and
right.
privacy issues.
You have any comments of us? Are you sure?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, go ahead.
Just following up on your first comments about the variances. So when they sign the development orders, does that extend their range on the variances then?
They're technically, they don't really, at this point, they wouldn't necessarily expire because they have started construction in the fact that they have a site plan that has been under review.
Okay.
And it basically, they actually have one development order for a site plan. They do have a development order for a site plan. They pretty quickly after they got the development order wanted to modify it and make changes to the site plan. So what has not been issued yet, waiting on them to provide the site improvement agreement, is the modification to the site plan. So they did get one development order for a site plan that included, so those variances, won't expire because
As long as there's activity,
Yeah.
it won't expire.
but like I said, they submitted a modification to the site plan. They wanted to change it a little bit, and that development order has not been issued yet because we've been waiting for them to submit
So
that document.
does the original development order expire at some point in time?
Yeah, that's good for a year. And
Okay.
yeah, but right now they're working towards this other site modification, but we were, waiting for that
But
document.
if the year runs out before they
Mhm.
sign the second one, are they back to page 1 then?
Well, they still have this other modification that's under review right now, so there's an active plan under
Oh,
review.
So even though
if
if the first development order expires, but
mhm.
they're reviewing the
Mhm.
that can just keep on rolling forever.
Not forever. There are provisions in the code where if we haven't had any kind of communication or status on what's going on, I think it's 60 days, then there are notices that the city can issue with regards to, terminating and having to start over with a new application. So we have processes in place for that where it can't just stay in limbo forever, but we're not there yet.
Well, it's kind of an internal issue on their end of it anyway, so they gotta figure it out.
Yes.
So the city's not holding them up in any way right now?
Not at all.
I just see similarities here from across the river, and it drug on, and it drug on, and it drug on.
Very different situations.
Okay.
Very different.
But I just, it just
And
seems like
the city has nothing to do with what the holdup is.
well, we didn't hold up fish either.
No,
So
but it's very
I'm just-
different
I
situation.
see similarities.
We just gave. The parking and the aesthetic improvements for the down under area, the parking situation and all that, is that tied in with the Millie's project
No.
or?
No, that was a separate. That was what you had seen in 2019 was a concept plan that we got approved by FDOT to be able to move forward with these improvements at such time that they're funded, which is a concept plan. We are currently working with a consultant to kind of refine those and get a little bit more detail. They actually have run a parking optimization plan study, so we have a conceptual plan that shows how to get additional parking down there and make some additional improvements with costs associated. So that's going to be coming forward to council in the near future. We're wrapping that up right now. But again, those improvements would only move forward once they are funded.
And that's
But it's
by-
not tied to a private
it's-
development. It's
And
a
that's by
public.
DOT, their funding.
Yeah.
No, the city would fund it, and we'd
Oh,
be
the
looking,
city's
and we would be looking for grants as well. Yeah, that land is leased by DOT, so it's city's maintenance responsibility down there.
Back to Millie's, you mentioned the property owners, the folks are coming back with modifications to the development plan, site plan?
The
Or they've already
the
submitted them?
development, they already did. That's the one, the site plan modification. We were ready to issue a development order early last year, and we're just waiting for the site improvement agreement to be provided on the site plan modification.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are those within the variances that we
Everything's
gave them?
addressed, yeah.
So they don't have to come back to us?
Mm-mm. No.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, a quick question. What's the status of Andy's project on Taylor Road, all the storage units?
Crane Lakes Depot is under construction.
Moving right along.
Yeah.
Blocking traffic daily. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, public comments? Okay, nobody? Staff comments, no, we're good. Public comments, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Smack at that guy. You know?